The Cockatrice Boys by Joan Aiken, Chapter 10. Auntie Flossie giggled all the time now. She sat with her unbelievably skinny bare legs sticking straight out in front of her on the low bed and rubbed dark green ointment on her fingers and toes. Sana noticed without any particular increase of disgust that she had webs between her toes, and there were not so many toes as people have. Always get chilly beans this time of year, Flossie confided in the high, wheezy voice that sounded like a tape played at double speed. Winter green is the best for chilblains. I told them, put it in the box, I told them. The box of groceries might have been packed by a computer. There was powdered tarragon, but no sugar, flour, but no butter, isinglass, but no soap, gum tragacanth, but no mustard, biscuits, but no cheese, washing soda, but no salt. Tins of corned beef and soup were useless because there was no tin opener, either in the box or in the cottage. Sana had managed to cook a pot full of porridge over the fire with oatmeal and some water from the barrel. This was full of green slime, but she supposed that boiling would disinfect it. When the blizzard outside died down a little, she fetched in a bowl full of snow and left it to melt, and she found an iron bar to poke the fire with, and more peat in the shed. Seen in daylight, the wicker figure outside the door, now thickly covered with snow, looked harmless and inoffensive enough. She supposed that it was simply put there to frighten, or perhaps as a sign, like a barber's pole. This is a witch's cottage. How long have you been here, Aunt Floss? She tried asking. The creature on the bed giggled. 50 years, my dearie, since the newspapers were first put down on the floor. Your grandpa was alive then. I put down those papers. They've lasted well. That's just not possible, Sana said. Anyway, the papers are only 10 years old. But that was all the answer she got. Among the contents of the cupboard carton were countless pills. Among the contents of the cardboard carton were countless pills in various little pots and vials and bottles and flasks. Aunt Floss swallowed pills continually in handfuls. She used to do that in Manchester too, remembered Sana. That is, if it is Auntie Floss. Or does she just do it to make me believe that she is Auntie Floss? When you get to be my age, your state of health, dearie, your system needs extra vitamins, the creature giggled. You'll have to start taking them too by and by. When you take on the job here, it wears you out, that it does. I'm not staying here, Sana said. That's what you think, dearie. You'll feel different later. When the porridge was cooked, Sana ate hers out of the saucepan, standing in the open front door, looking at the whirling snow. She had found only one bowl on the dresser, so spooned a helping of porridge into it for the creature on the bed, but could not bear to be a spectator of the eating process. She had a horrible feeling that the oatmeal was in fact eaten by the rat, Mocken, who peered out sometimes from under the covers and bared its teeth evilly at Sana. My Manny, Auntie Floss called it. My little pigisney, my ratto. After midday, when the snow began to slacken off, Aunt Floss said, We'll tell our fortunes. Now go in the parlor, switch on the TV. Are you crazy? There's no current. There's no electricity, no aerial. Aunt Floss giggled. That's no matter. We managed without it for thousands of years. Switch on, I say. Shrugging, Sana went into the back room. Mind my china, came the shrill exhortation. Mind my precious things. Edging between the table with its load of tiny china pots on the walls, Sana pressed the on button on the TV set. A light flickered in the middle of the screen. She suddenly heard Dyken's voice saying, The book will help them, Colonel Clipsbeak said. They want to stir up more trouble, Aunt Floss in the next room cried out. Don't go to Dollar. Don't go to Dollar. You'll all be killed if you do. Then she began to sing a squeaky nursery rhyme. Stop that, shouted Sana. She pressed the button again. The flickering light faded and vanished. In the front room, the being on the bed propped itself against the wall and sat cross-legged, grinning at Sana with slit eyes shining green. Plenty of things you don't know yet, my pettikin. Sana walked to the open door and stood, breathing huge gulps of air. The cold burned her, but the sky was clear now. No more snow fell. The little glade around the cottage shone with reflected snowlight. Up above, to right and left, the great fir-hung mountains towered like a wall. The voice from inside called, "Come here, come back, lambskin. There's lots of things that want doing, things I need." With huge reluctance, Sana turned back into the sinking room. Even though her bare feet were frozen, she had rather stand in the doorway, breathe fresh air, look at the white emptiness and dark forest outside, than walk back into that fetid atmosphere. The creature on the bed said, "No, dearie, you have to go out on an errand for me. Up the hill, 3 turns of the path. Young legs and feet, young hands can easily do it. Only 3 turns of the path. Where the old monks once used to live. You go up there, fetch it for me." "I can fetch anything," Sana said. "Or I can't fetch anything," Sana said. "I've only 1 shoe. I'm not going barefoot in the snow." There was a pause. The creature on the bed seemed to consider. Time went by, and the creature said, "But, pet, your things are in there, in the press, in the back room, cupboard under the dresser." "My things? How can they possibly be? I don't believe you." "Go and look, Petikin." Sana looked in the cupboard under the dresser. There was her shabby blue travel bag, the one she had brought back from Spain. In it was the queerest selection of her old clothes and belongings. Clothes she had taken to Spain on that holiday, school uniforms from several years back, sweaters that had raveled to pieces and been thrown away in Newcastle, beach flip-flops, outworn trainers, no winter boots. "No winter boots," she said, returning. "I'm not going through the snow in flip-flops. Anyway, why should I? What for?" Though indeed part of her was all in favor of going up the hill. It was a way out. Take it. Don't stay in this grisly hovel. Don't stay here in this grisly hovel. If there is a path that goes on over the hills, you need not come back. "There's a pair of boots," said the creature on the bed. "Look again." Impatiently, Sana looked again, and there were boots, a pair that Aunt Floss had taken to a basement rummage sale 2 years ago because they were outgrown. "These are much too small," Sana said. "They don't fit anymore." "Cut off the toes then, dearie." "Look, what is it you want up the hill? What's so important?" "Book," said the creature. "Up the glen where the old monks used to live and sing, in the days when I was young and pretty, younger and prettier than you. Cave in cliff, old hermit's cave book, all wrapped up. You bring book." The word book, 3 times repeated, echoed in Sana's mind. In that queer snatch of overhead conversation, caught goodness knows how on the dead, disconnected television channel, Colonel Clipspeak had said, "They want to stir up more trouble." And Daikin, that's right, Daikin had said, "The book will help them." Dear Daikin, to hear his voice had been like a sudden touch of warm sunshine on her face. But the book, it was something important then. Everybody wanted it. To make trouble? "Why should I bring the book?" she said to the skeleton on the bed. "Who wants it?" "Friends, my friends, when they come on King Edward's Day." "Your friends?" "Astarte, Aberion, Asmodeus, Belial. Soon they come in power and thunder. Bring the book for them. They give you power too." "If they have this power," said Sana, "why can't they get the book for themselves? Human hands, human eyes." Will they really come? Can she mean it? Sana wondered. I hope I'm not here then. Let Aunt Floss entertain them on her own. The princess of air. She had a sudden swift shuddering vision of someone with a blue crest on his head like snow blown backwards in a gale, with bright cold curling flames under the soles of his feet, with flesh transparent as water, with seaweed floating among his bones. If those are her friends, I don't want to meet them. She tried on the boots. They were certainly far too small. And we will pause there.